How's everyone doing? We got Sean, we got Sam, we got Brax. Nice, nice, nice. There we go. There we go. Has anybody heard from Kirby today? No, okay. Let me fix a few things on Roll20 and then we will get started. How was everybody's week? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think that goes for everybody. Oh god. I'm making myself a pot of tea right now just to help me with my nasal stuff. Fuck yeah. Did Kirby just join? Sick. Very, very sick. Okay, let me copy and paste my notes here real quick, and then we will get rocking and rolling. How you been doing, Kirby? Hey, yeah, that's what we're all doing. Oh, right, right. Like how teachers get the summer off, everybody else should get the winter off. Okay, why is OBS not recording? You don't recognize when Fantasy Grounds is up and running? Huh? I've not, uh, I've not thought about the Fine Brothers in a while. There we go. How do I get the URL? There we go. It works. You are not excused, Samuel. How dare you? Oh, I've got some green tea bubbling right now. D&T. That's what I give your mom. I'm not nice to her either. DT. Stephen King directed Maximum Overdrive. That's the Nicolas Cage one, right? No. I need to look up what Emilio Estevez looks like. I know that name. Oh. Wouldn't be bad, of course. Okay, I'm gonna pour my tea and I'll be ready to get started, okay?
This picture chat. I never thought about thinking of like 80s pictures. Oh yeah, the fucking guy. Yeah, yeah. There it is. Season. Not the only actor, but the first one I popped. Joey Diaz. Can I request my soundbite? But I was thinking, I want mine to Chris Farley. Are you ready for some football sound?
Oakley dokley, gang. Everybody ready? Brax, Kirby, all good to go? Hell yeah. Alright, boys. Today is session 37, Interlude 2, Part 5. This one is called Only My Tailor's Heart. So, y'all are hot on the trail of the Assassin's Guild. The Assassin's Guild is active here in Waterdeep, trying to kill masked lords that will vote in favor of policies that help the people of Waterdeep rather than the guild masters or the nobles. One of the ways that they're assassinating people is by pretending to be the private detective Vincent Trench. Vincent Trench caught on to them early and was about to stop their plot to assassinate various masked lords, so they decided to frame him. Over the course of the past 2 days, y'all have investigated some crime scenes, you have talked to other people that have fought the Assassin's Guild, and you have helped hide Vincent Trench. Some of the things you have discovered is that Open Lord elect Growlhound is connected to this plot somehow. He's really pushing the Artificer to send the City Watch to capture Vincent Trench and all of you and put a nice little bow on this case. Blame it all on Vincent Trench. Y'all know that someone is paying the Assassin's Guild. That person is the Iron Scribe. They are a functionary, a masked lord that has a lot of money, and they're paying using money from the Open Lord Elect's Transition Committee. They seem to be operating out of a tailor shop called the Skull and Bones Tailor. Y'all are currently sitting at a cafe outside of the Skull and Bones, across the street from the Skull and Bones Tailor. Y'all are sitting at a table with Vincent Trench as he smokes his pipe. You are all together holding up one massive newspaper with seven sets of eye holes cut into it, looking across the street at the Skull and Bones Tailor shop. As always, when you're around Vincent Trench, there's some slow, moody saxophone music playing. Everything takes on an air of seriousness, and there's golden rays of light that shine through in the night and illuminate the city. The rain in the trades ward doesn't wash the city clean. It just turns the soot into slick black grease. Across the street, the Skull and Bone shop glows with an inviting golden warmth. The windows are immaculate. framing mannequins in suits so sharp they look like they could draw blood. Above the door, a sign sways in the wind, a gilded skull with a crossed set of sewing needles behind it. What do y'all do? Yeah, y'all are in the middle of the street. You're getting a good eye on the building. You notice that there seems to be only one employee in there. Some man with some kind of measuring tape hung around his neck. He is making elegant pin strokes in a notebook right now. Vincent Trench said that even though he's been scoping this place out all day, he says, it appears on the surface to be squeaky clean. Nothing of note to report. But that in of itself is suspicious. No one is squeaky clean, especially not in this wicked city. He says that like all the time. As he says it, like the saxophone music crescendos, and there's like lightning that frames him. Elzerna says, it's been raining this whole time, guys. Like, you don't know what's up with that. Elzerna says, surely we're not just, like, as she's, like, standing on her tiptoes to, like, look through the holes in the newspaper, surely we're not just going to walk into the Assassin's Guild's den. Surely everything in there is a trap of some sort. They must have hundreds of assassins in the city right now. Oh, wait. Since everybody's here, Sam, let me describe everybody. So, you fought the conductor last week with Thorgrin, the dwarf barbarian with a big red beard and blue tattoos. Standing across from you is Inchi, the green goblin wizard with big ears and big red eyes. There is a halfling dressed in elegant clothes that have some kind of rhinestones in them that make them shiny and they catch the light. Inchi, the goblin, is wearing a tattered black and red suit. Huel looks like a glam rocker from the 80s. Blinken is wearing some stained and dirty traditional Waterdavian robes. He is a gnome with a big gray bushy beard. And Elzerna is a human girl of about 8 years old who carries herself with some elegance, but that is betrayed by the torn and dirty and muddy ball gown that she is wearing. And Vincent Trench is wearing commoner's clothes. Mm-hmm. Oh, Sam, another thing. Inchi has been wearing like a cowboy hat this whole time. A black 10-gallon hat. Did you say you want to peek into the shop? Oh. Yes. Vincent Trench says, yes, we have one of their goons' masks here. He says, y'all also have the button from one of their suits that had their skull and sewing needles logo emblazoned upon it. We also know that code word that we got from the Duke's books when he was murdered. Ask for the midnight fit. Whatever that means, that's some kind of code word that the Assassin's Guild uses to communicate. He says, I have my own idea, but I want to hear everybody else's. And let's just go from the top down in a clockwise fashion. So, EB, what do you think y'all's approach to this Assassin's Guild hideout should be? The midnight fit. Oh, wait, I forgot to describe something. So, yeah, Sam just brought up the assassins. Anytime you attack them and damage them, they disappear into mist and reappear about 30 feet away. Some of them seem to have specialized abilities. You've started calling this misting. There was an old spy that Vincent knew, Cosmo. Last session, Blinken and Inchi went to Cosmo's locksmith shop and retrieved something called ghost salt out of a safe that was rigged to explode. The ghost salt, if you throw it on an assassin, they cannot mist away for 6 seconds. So y'all have one pouch of that, and it's like a big pouch of it. Inchi, you also got a set of thieves' tools last session. Thorgrin, what do you think they should do? Inchi, what do you think? Blinken, Huel, what do y'all think? Vincent has been staking it out all day. He said that it appears to be just a normal tailor shop. But y'all know for a fact that it's not. Blinken, what about you? What do you think? Go on. What's Blinken thinking? You know that the vibe of the place is off. It makes your hair stand on end. Who would willingly walk into a den of assassins? But if you don't take care of this, who will? Right? The words of Galanus echo in your ears. You don't gotta be a good guy. You just can't let the bad guys win. Huel, you want to give the shop a look over. Go ahead and roll a perception check. It's okay. Mm-hmm. Ooh. Shoot. Okay. Yeah. 19. That's pretty good. So you can tell that this appears to be like it starts at street level, but then like looking back into the shop, it goes further back, and it appears to go up. Like there's a staircase that leads up, so it's 2 stories. What's in the first floor area that you can't see towards the back of the shop? Some people had mentioned going around back. Maybe that would be a good idea. You also notice that the tailor looks exactly like a posh Gerard Butler. Yep. Oh, all right. And she are going around back. Is anybody going with them? Okay, fantastic. So, and Elzerna tags along with y'all. She likes hanging out with Huel because he's a bard. All right, so y'all step around the back, and everybody else huddles in closer to keep the newspaper together, and they're still looking through the eye holes at it. And you hear Vincent say to himself, "No, I shouldn't use that here. That could be useful. That could be useful down the line. I don't know about that." He's muttering stuff to himself. Inchi, you get to the. We'll come back to you. Inchi, Huel, and Elzerna, y'all walk around back. Inchi, roll a nat 20 to find the best looking trash can. Or roll a perception check to find the best looking trash can. You got a nat 20. You find a delectably smelling trash can behind a shop that like clearly a dwarf owns. Some brisket, some great bread is in there. Some kind of sauce just coats the whole trash can that you can dip the meat into. It's delicious. It's great. As you turn around, what do you pick out of this trash can to eat? And she is chewing on like a baguette of like garlic bread that has some kind of brown sauce on one end that makes it soggy. You'll or Inchi, as you come out of the trash can, you look at the back of the Skull and Bones tailor shop, and sure enough, there's this big set of double doors there that are locked with a chain around them. This appears to be some kind of service entrance where the business would receive, its goods, its fabrics, its dyes, things like that. Whereas the front entrance is for customers. Yeah, every bite you take out of this piece of bread, like one bite will be soggy, the next bite will be crunchy, the next bite will be soggy. It's quite interesting. Your village, you got to figure out how to get this bread back to Soup Village. You said you wanted to investigate the chains. The chains, what it is like it's a big set of wooden double doors, like really thick, at least like 4-inch thick wood. And then where the handles, they are like about 2 feet above your head. And they're big brass handles that are just kind of a bar that sticks out of the door and then like makes like a C shape to the door. It's like bolted to the door on the top and bottom. And then there's a chain that's woven between the left door and the right door handle that is locked with a padlock that can be unlocked with a key. Mm-hmm. Oh, hell yeah. Okay. Choose an object that you can see. The object can be a door, a chest, a padlock, things. Yeah, that would even get through magic. Okay. This can even get through arcane lock. Yeah, that's great. Okay, so do you knowing? Yeah. No, I will give you a chance to decide if you want to cast that or not. You're gonna stick with it? Okay. Yeah, you were very slick with it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you drop it right into like the muddy cobblestone street. Do you pick it back up and eat it, Inchi? Yeah. That's great. That was so slick. Elzerna like doesn't even know that you did it. She's like, "What was that loud noise? Was that thunder?" And then the chains that were holding the door together, the padlock snaps open, and all the chains just fall down, and the doors creak open with a as they creak open slowly. Going back across the street to the cafe, EB, you just heard Vincent Trench muttering to himself, "Ah, no, I shouldn't use that here. That might be a bad idea," as he's taking like a big puff out of his pipe that he's always carrying. EB, what did you say to him? He says, "Boys, a couple years ago, I solved a case for a fella that had a genie as his sorcerer's patron. This case was so dastardly, so devilish, so fiendish, that when I solved it, the genie himself offered me one thing, one wish that I could carry with me. And I carried with me the ability to wind back the clock, anytime I want to, by 6 minutes. But I can only do it once for my entire life. We could march up in there, cause a ruckus, raise a storm, find every trap, every hidden assassin, hold that man in there that looks like Gerard Butler to the ground and interrogate him until he tells us everything, and then with the snap of my fingers, we would be sitting right back here at this cafe table, with all that knowledge still in our heads. So long as it all goes down within 6 minutes. If it was just me by myself, no. I would hold on to this until I know it could be useful, but I don't want to walk in blind with 6 people helping me out. So yes, I'd be willing to use the power of this wish for you guys here tonight. Thorgrin, Blinken, what do y'all think about that? That's what I was thinking. He says, okay. It's hard to think of how to use it in the wild. I don't want to... But okay, yeah, I'll hold on to it. Okay. So do y'all want to do anything? Yeah. Yeah, Thorgrin, it turns out EB has met your mortal enemy. Vincent claps his hands together and says, well, looks like it'll be me and EB going across to the shop. You boys can play lookout if you wish, or you can come in with us. Okay. Blinken, what about you? Blinken, before you answer, you see all your friends get up and they're about to leave, and then like a beautiful waitress comes over and like says to you, may I get your order, sir? So you can just sit out here at the cafe if you want. Fair enough. Don't think anybody wants to die fast. Okay. So Vincent, EB, and Thorgrin get up. Blinken sits down at the table. What do you order, Blinken, from this cafe? Ooh, yes. She brings you biscuits with some jam for you to put it in, and some tea, some like piping hot green tea. All right, let me copy. Hell yeah. Let me copy everybody's tokens to where they need to be. Oh, come on. Roll20's giving me issues. Hold up. There we go. And then we'll do the guys going into the back. Okay, so the Thorgrin, EB, and Vincent start walking in towards the front. Blinken posts up across the street with some piping hot green tea and a biscuit and jam, and he folds up the newspaper and holds it in front of his face and peeks out through the little eye holes. And then we go around back, and we see Inchi, Huel, and Elzerna peek in through that door that they just caused a loud noise in front of. So I'm going to have you guys already on the map, but you're kind of standing outside the door. But the door is open and did just make a massive noise. Just a second. Okay, so Inchi, Huel, and Elzerna, you guys peek in through this back door area, and what you see is a bunch of masks and cloth. Big reams of cloth of all sorts of elegant and exotic colors. But these masks are what draw your attention. These are similar to the masks that all the masked lords wear, similar to all the masks that the Assassin's Guild wears. This must be where they make them. As your eyes adjust to this dark and gloomy basement, you also see the glints of piles of swords, brand new swords, and spears, and leather armor that has been folded over itself to make it even thicker and more capable of blocking damage. You swear to God that you hear some rustling, some footsteps as people move somewhere in this basement, but before your eyes adjust, they duck out of sight, and you can't see. What do you do? Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, there's a description. Let me read it real quick. The opulence of the shop above is a lie. Below is the truth. This is a factory of assassination. Great iron looms chatter with the weight of silk. Stone vats bubble with toxic dyes, casting a sickly purple light against the damp stone walls. There are tables all around where it looks like tradesmen and tailors make the tools of their trade while dyeing these elegant fabrics. But you know that nothing is sold here but poison and blood. Okay, so Huel, you said you wanted to hide. Where do you want to hide at? and then roll a stealth check. Yes. Yes. Nope. I think you're bigger than Inchi. I imagine goblins is like even shorter. Like goblins in my head are like 2 feet, 3 feet. No way. No way. A teacup goblin would be hilarious. Oh my god. You guys got to get on that. All right, Huel, where do you want to hide? Perfect. All right, roll a stealth check. Ooh, okay. Okay, Inchi, what do you do? You just say hello. Do you move? Okay, Inchi, you get about right here. Elzerna runs up and she hides right here. She got an 11. She did not hide as good, but Huel, you see her hold out her hand and summon the golden mandolin. You know that she can cast first level bard spells with this. I think she hasn't done any today, so she should have about 3. Inchi, you're walking up and you hear someone say, "Hold still. I hate it when the fabric bunches up." And you see someone that you saw yesterday. Someone that was at the party with all those nobles and master lords. You see someone walk out from behind here with a set of clippers, a set of shears in his hand, shears that are finely that are elegantly made and finely sharpened, shears to cut thick, rich fabrics into smaller sums for sewing. And he walks up towards you and says, "Hold still, clip, clip. I'll just take a little bit off the top." He said, "I was doing so much better before someone tried to break into our headquarters. Now months and months and months of work, undercover work, replacing a masked lord, down the drain. Get over here and let me take your head as a price." Everybody roll initiative. Inchi with the 17. No, just the guys in the basement. Okay, Inchi got a 17. Huel, what did you get, a 12? 7, okay. Elzerna is going to go, and then the assassin is going to go. Elzerna got an 18, nice. Assassin got a 14. All right, so Elzerna goes first, and Huel, she kind of like looks at you confused. What should she do on this turn? Level 1 bard spells. You've been teaching her bard spells over like the past 2 weeks while the city was on lockdown. She can only cast 3 of these a day. Oh yeah, your loot's broken and busted, yeah. Oh, cool, a little duet. Which one is that? Okay, alright. She will hold her turn until he, attacks Inchi? Okay. Inchi, this assassin is stepping towards you. He has killed a masked lord and taken his place, and you have discovered his secret and his workshop. And he steps towards you with a pair of shears in his hand, and he opens and closes them, and they go clip, clip. And he says, "Just a little off the top, goblin." Okay. Do daggers have a throwing stat, like max distance they can be thrown? Because I know like bows and arrows. I know bows have a distance thing. Range 20 to 60 feet. Okay. So yeah, you can throw this between 20 and 60 feet. Okay, I'm going to drag you just right to the doorway, but you are standing like 5 feet outside, okay? Alright, it is the assassin's turn, and he says, "Oh, no, you don't get to leave." And he clips the clippers shut, and as he does, he teleports to be right beside you, Inchi, standing also 5 feet outside, and he is going to open the shears and he is going to close them on you, making a strength attack for a 19. Does that hit? He's going to roll 2d6 damage. What'd you say? A Vorpal. Oh, sick. Yeah, they're Volpler shills. So, Inchi, you took 7 slashing damage. Inchi, you took... Oh, okay. Cutting words. Yes, you are. You're level 7. You should be. 19. Oh, you're doing it for the... Yeah, so you're targeting the guy's attack roll or his damage roll? His attack roll. Okay, so 19 minus 5 would be 14. Inchi, does that beat your AC? Okay. So... And you give away your position when you do that, so you no longer have the element of surprise. Inchi, you took 7 slashing damage, and I need you to roll a dexterity check. You need to beat a 14. All right. As this man clips you, as he shears you, you feel like he was trying to cut something, cut your clothes, cut them in a way that would make you less safe. But you're able to get out of the way of that and you just take that slashing damage. You notice that unlike all the other assassin's weapons, there is no poison damage from this assassin. That is. Oh, and now it's Huel's turn. Huel, what do you do? Excuse me? Okay. Yes, she's gonna start playing the melody of like a little song that y'all have been working on together, and the sound of it reaches this guy's ears, and he is going to take. This is a first level spell for a bard. This is not a bard spell, dog. Is that part of the Caneth Mandolin? Inflict wounds. I'm seeing it says cleric, occultist, and spellblade. Oh, okay. Well, this is Elzerna. You know what? No, I'll let you have taught this to her if it's first level. She's gonna do two. I'm looking at it. It says first level necromancy. This is a massive amount of damage for a first level spell, though. Okay. Come on. I'm trying to look up the stats for it. Okay. Magical discoveries. Okay. Okay. All right. When did your loot break? I thought that was this adventure. Yeah. That was last night. Okay. So okay. So Elzerna with her Caneth Mandolin is also able to learn this spell that you teach her, and she casts it against this imposter masked lord. She's gonna make a spell attack against him. Ooh, and no, it's a inflict wounds is a spell attack, so it would have to beat his AC, and she did not beat it because she rolled a 5 for attack. And I think on a failure, inflict wounds doesn't do anything. Yep. So that's why it's so much damage. So because it has to hit to do anything. Make a melee spell attack against a creature. On a hit, it takes 3d10 damage. It doesn't say anything about half damage. So that's just a miss. Are you casting it yourself as well? Okay. All right. Yep. So Elzerna plays a few really high notes. You've said that before. The last time you said that, he hit you with like a nat 20. Oh no, it was Thorgrin that he hit with that, I think. No, it was you, NC. But anyway, Elzerna plays like a few like really high notes on her lute, and she tries to attack the masked lord, and he shakes it off. Huel, what do you do? Are you also casting inflict wounds? Okay. Inchy duck. Yeah, depending on how you aim it, like Inchy could be out of it. Yeah. Oh, I can't see what you're measuring. Make sure that you have. Oh, okay. Make sure you have broadcast to others on your distance tool. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Like this. Oh, okay. Yeah, it makes more sense as a cone. But yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, you can even like give a signal to Inchy to have him step back once. All right, so you do 8 damage to him. So as you hit him and you push him back and he falls back, he manages to hold on to his pair of big scissors. And as you damage him, Huel, he takes that 8 damage and then he disappears and reappears back here next to this bubbling vat of purple liquid. And he says, "Oh, that is cutting it too close." Going back up to the top floor, Blinken, you from across the street watch Vincent Trench, E.B. the Deep Gnome, and Thorgrin the Dwarf Barbarian walk in to the Skull and Bones tailor's shop. E.B., Thorgrin, and Vincent, do you guys walk in all at the same time or one at a time? And space it out by a few minutes. Yeah? Okay. As you all walk in, there's this man in an elegant suit with a perfectly like trimmed bushy beard and like perfectly coiffed hair, and he looks like Gerard Butler when he was young. And he says, "Ah, yes, we've been expecting people today. Welcome to the Skull and Bones tailor shop. What fit may I get for you today? Do you wish to look elegant? Do you wish to look noble? Do you wish to look modern? Do you want a look to die for?" The man closes the book he was scribbling in, and he steps out from around the counter. And as he does, it's so smooth and elegant, it looks like he is gliding rather than walking. And as he walks up to you, he takes off that measuring tape that he had around his neck, that was like kind of draped around his shoulders like a priest's, the like colored vestments. Yes, he takes it off and he says, "My, the midnight fit. That is very popular these days. I'd be happy to make a midnight fit. Who would you like me to get a midnight fit for? And I will warn you, sir, if you are not able to pay for the midnight fit, this will be the last request you make." He says, "The midnight fit is very expensive. We require payment up front, but name any person in the city, and we will give them the midnight fit on your behalf." Vincent Trench leans in close to you, Thorgrim, and says, "It seems like the midnight fit is the way to order an assassination of someone. You could say, I want a midnight fit for Vincent Trench, and they'll fit that man for a grave by midnight. You understand me?" "No, that was an example. I told you not to come in saying the code word right off the bat. It gives the game away. There's no elegance here. There's no pacing." "Oh, okay. He's waiting." Oh my god, Thorgrim. Gerard Butler looks at you and says, "You do not already know the cost before making a request, How absurdly bold of you, sir. It will be 500 gold coins. Now, yes, you should not be saying words if you are not willing to follow through on the implication." Vincent Trench puts his hand in his face, and Gerard Butler says, "You would like a midnight fit for old Zoblob? That eccentric purple fellow down in the docks ward. Why, I think we can find him a very elegant purple suit to die for." Vincent Trench sighs deeply, and the butler says, "No, you're supposed to know who you want fitted before you come in. Sir, are you okay? Sir, you seem distraught. Would you like to step up to the room and I can take your measurements for a private fitting?" His eyebrows raise when you say aroused. He says, "Yes, it is quite exciting. Is this your first midnight fitting, my lord?" He says, "Well, I could forgive the intrusion upon the code and the dialect, so long as you have all the gold pieces necessary. In fact, if you have that, you could come up to the private room for a private fitting, and I will be happy to explain all of our services and what the options are exactly for a midnight fit. As a paying customer, you can get it fully customized. We can fit old Zoblob up any way you like, stitch him up any way you like, if you catch my drift." He says, "I would like it a lot more if there were 500 gold coins in my hand right now. 500 gold dragons, please." Vincent Trench looks at you like, "I don't have 500 gold coins, Doc. I live on the same street as you. It's not a nice street." Thorgrim, you should have more than that. Okay. Okay. Yes. So that's 102 gold coins. He reaches into his coat pocket and he pulls out a pouch that has 50 gold coins. So you're at 152. Gerard Butler walks over to this table and starts fiddling with the elegant fabrics. He goes, "Oh, sure, go over to the counter. Put all your coins there, your gold, your silver. It looks like you'll be counting copper coins, too." Well, anybody would be honored to be poured into one of our midnight fits. The most excellent tailors provide a bespoke experience with whatever materials you need, sewn in whatever fashion you like, and delivered in any method you can think of for anyone in this city, highborn, lowborn, masked lord, private detective, and his buddies putting their noses where they shouldn't be. Anyone." Yeah, it's not the man whose only crime was believing fancy things because he is literally mentally disabled. Yeah. Hey, EB. This dwarf that you're talking to seems to have a long list of enemies he wants dead. Very odd. And powerful people, too. And he seems to have a specific grudge with them. Very odd behavior. Okay, what were you saying? Yes. Uh-huh. Yes, remember it was part of your deal with the devil that you made with Avi. He told you that that Captain Zardoz Zord, who looks like a human man, is actually a drow elf named Jarlax Brelain. And he is the owner. Yeah, Jarlax is like some French name, Jarlax Brenet. Um, eh, yeah, the lore character, like the actual D&D character Jarlax. He is the person that is running the Sea Maidens Fair in the Docks Ward, which is a cover for a giant smuggling operation that happens all across Faerun. You're not killing anybody. First of all, also you don't have 500 gold coins to even. What are you talking about, Thorgrim? The man stops fiddling with the little booklet of fabrics he was flipping through, and he says, "My good sirs, I do have to insist upon a payment this instant, or else tailor policies or shop policy is that I dismiss you from the premises." Okay. Okay. I also gave you money last session when y'all raided the tomb, remember? No, the 1K came from the money you stole from the school, the endowment fund. It's also the money that you're going to use to renovate the bar. Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Yeah, they left you the money, so. It says, oh my, we're getting into the terms of the deal. Oh, so the fitting will fit. We will die trying to make it fit, I assure you that. Our reputation should precede itself. Unfortunately, we don't really negotiate. We have our set fees, and our work will speak for itself. Oh, Xanathar, the beholder, the monster mobster of Waterdeep. My God, sir, I did not expect such. And he looks you up and down judgmentally. Boldness from you. My, with the order that high, I have to thank you. Please come into the back office and we will finalize this deal. They may peruse our fine establishment in Wes. For ordering a midnight fit, I can throw in a free suit for any one of you. Vincent says, it has been a minute since I've gone through my collection of ties. I think I will peruse the selection here. He's turning into Benoit Blanc. God damn it! He says, I'm gonna look through the collection of ties here. I have not updated my collection in quite some time. Okay. So, this desk right here is actually a fitting room. The map just doesn't look like it, but it is a fitting room. And then as y'all walk up this set of stairs, you notice that there's about 6 mannequins on the wall. Each shelf has like a bookshelf that's lined with fancy linens of all kinds of colors that will be cut and made into bespoke suits. Oh no, wait, up here is the fitting rooms. You can see little curtains and the mirror, and then he steps you up off into the back office. And let me read, because there's a description here somewhere. He says, walking into this room, this is like the shop where it all happens. There are sewing machines that you crank by moving your foot up and down, and it powers a little needle that sews everything together. There are suits in various stages of construction, and he walks over to this table and he writes down on a little piece of paper and he says, Master Dwarf, please come over here, place all the gold coins on the table, and sign your name. Or no, not sign your name. He says, and sign this paper with your blood. It is a binding contract, symbolic of the effort that we will put into it to ensure that Xanathar the Beholder is dead by midnight. Thorgrim, what do you do? Yep. He asks you to come and put all the gold on the table and then like prick your thumb and sign a document with your blood. Fall for oh. True enough. He says, so this is a gruesome business. Do not tell me that you find that something as simple as this makes you queasy. Uh-huh. Okay. This tailor has a real nice shop. So you, Thorgrim, to be clear, you take 500 gold coins, you put it on the table, and then you sign this document with your blood. You're doing every step of that. He says, yes, certainly, of course we could do such a thing. And he turns around and he walks over to the shelf here, and he gets a bottle of a scotch, and he comes back over and he pours 3 glasses of it. And he's not stingy with it either. It's enough to sip on for a while. You know, you would, uh-huh. Okay. EB, as you pass your way out, roll a perception check. You need to get above an 18. A 20? As you like step out, you notice that the tiles here that on this cobblestone like floor, they're like nice, they're patterned, like this was clearly custom work. As you step out, your like weight being all the way here on one end makes it shift slightly. It falls down like half an inch almost. This is some kind of trap, this circle right here. Okay, but you run on down. You run down these stairs, past the changing rooms, past all these mannequins, and you can see that Vincent Trench is like looking at the fabric here on this table. But every once in a while, he's looking at this book on the counter. He's clearly going to try to go through this guy's book while he's distracted with Thorgrin. And you walk outside across the street, and you're at the table with Blinken. Blinken, you lower your newspaper with the eye holes cut in it, and you are like sipping from the tiniest cappuccino cup as EB walks up to you. EB, what do you say? Blinken, when EB says that, you remember that Thorgrin has the briefcase of holding, which has all your money. Yeah, the Blinken, in response to that, projected into your mind is the moving image of Thorgrin just throwing out gold coins to everybody, to tailors that will make him expensive kilt skirts, to prostitutes and drug dealers and chefs that will make him excellent food. All that money that was supposed to remodel your bar, you just see Thorgrin throwing it willy-nilly all over Waterdeep. I mean, that's the mommy package. Jesus. God damn it. Alright, throw a blink and let me grab your token. Alright. Blinking, you walk back into the tailor shop with EB. You see what everybody saw before, a fairly elegant, high-class tailor shop with lots of fine, expensive linens lying around. And you see Vincent Trench is kind of looking at some fabrics on this desk, and EB starts leading you towards the back, where you can hear Thorgrin talking with somebody. We are going to go back down below to the basement. Oh no, I made a folder accidentally. The basement. Okay, it is Elzerna's turn. She kind of like looks back and forth from Huel to the Kenneth Mandolin herself. And she says, she gives up the guise of hiding and she runs straight over across to you, Huel. And she says, Huel, one of the spells the Kenneth Mandolin, the golden axe that I'm holding, can cast is Dispel Magic. I wonder if that could keep them from teleporting for one turn. Just like that ghost salt that Inchi and Blinken have. She goes, okay, and she like whispers loudly enough for Huel and Inchi only to hear. She says, trick him into coming near me, and I'll cast it on him. Or, and she goes up here and she's going to hold her action until one of you attack him, and she'll cast Dispel Magic to see if that'll stop him from teleporting away. Inchi, it's your turn. What do you do? No, he teleported over here by this bubbling vat of purple dye. Okay. Okay. This earth elemental is going to stand in for the fire elemental. You want it about right here? Yeah. And what? The major image is going to spook him? Can the major image attack? Nope. Okay. Just a second. Let me look at my notes. Okay. You make this thing appear, and the assassin is going to roll a Constitution check. If he gets above a 16, he is not scared of it. He got a 2, so he is scared of it, and he will back up a bit, and he'll back up into this corner here, away from the stairs on the other side. And he says, help, 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 help me, you fools, help me. And then you guys see the vat here, this boiling purple liquid, makes this thin purple smoke spread all across this area, and out of that purple smoke steps another assassin. They are wearing a cloak that is stained with many different colors. This is whoever is in charge of the dyes here. They are wearing a long leather apron in front of them that is rotten in some places because the dye is so strong and so hot it eats away at the very leather itself. And they say, I have a color to die for. Inchi, do you move at all? What's the range on major image? 120 feet. Okay, yeah, so you... I think you could back up. You're already outside the door, so how far do you want to back up? Your full movement? All right. All right. And she abandons the party and she runs outside. But his fire elemental is still right here going ooh and scaring things. It is now the assassin's turn. The green one is still scared of it. This new assassin is going to roll a constitution check. They also believe the fire elemental to be real, and they are treating it very cautiously, saying, "Don't let that thing get too close to the. Don't let that thing get too close to the chemicals. It'll send us all blowing up sky high. It would be glorious to die in a rainbow of color." And he is going to throw some bottles that he has at his waist over here towards Elzerna and Huel. And he is going to cover this area in a purple mist. Oops, it's really thin. This area is covered in a purple mist that makes it very difficult to see through. Huel, you can no longer see the fire elemental on the other side of this purple mist. What do you do? You could run through it, and then you'd be able to see what's on the other side. Okay. You can always run through and try to see them. It goes, "Rah!" As you grab this raven's. This map isn't to scale. You'll be able to run through it. Yeah, the table you're standing beside is like 10 feet. So maybe this map is kind of to scale. Yeah, so your max movement speed is 30. Yeah, you are a halfling. Alright, yeah, so 30 would leave you like right in the middle here. You could dash to get through it all the way. Let me see if Elzerna can give you another action. Huel, can you think of any first level bard spells that would like give you a bonus action? No. She knows all first level spells. Let me look at that. Okay. Would 40 feet let you get out of the bubble? Yes. Yes, it would. It would if you stood right here. So, like, if you just run around in a corner, you can do this without dashing. Yep, it would be. She held her action though, so she can do this as you run past. She plays a little doom 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 as you run past, and she touches you. You gain an extra 10 feet of movement, and you can get right here, or you can get just at the top of the staircase. You'll still get your action, yeah. He goes, "Rah!" And like his, yeah, you see them now. His feathers are like now dyed like a little bit purple whenever they catch the light, and he like shakes all the dust off of them, and he goes, "Fuck these guys." He goes, "What? Why?" Uh-huh. Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Are feathers a component of that? Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, a tart and a feather. So yeah, you pull out like a sweet sour pancake ball and like a feather, and you throw it at these guys, and at first like it's this purple dust, and then it turns into this blue magical energy and dissipates. And these guys they have to beat a 15. Oh God! All right, one of them passes and the other one doesn't. So which one do you want to fail? Pick one for me. The left one. The Yeah. Okay, yeah, yeah. Yeah, so the assassin that was throwing the dyes everywhere, that one falls over laughing hysterically. Yeah, it tickles like his ear a little bit, and he just starts laughing hysterically. And you look ahead of you, and there's two assassins and boiling vats of hot dye. And you look behind you, and you cannot see your friends at all. You know that Inchi is not in the building, and you know that Elzerna is just behind here, plucking away at the Cannith mandolin. I believe that was only one round of combat, so we'll do another one. You hear Elzerna say, "Huel, Huel, what do I do?" She goes, "Ah!" And she starts just running through the mist, and she's swinging the golden mandolin in front of her from side to side, and she trips and falls and like tumbles up here, but she manages to get right over here on the other side of the illusionary flame elemental, and she had to dash to do that. So that is her whole turn. Inchi, it's your turn. You are 30 feet away from the doors. What do you do? So So 60 feet from where you are, Inchi, if you're 30 feet away from the door, 60 feet will get you directly inside the purple mist. All right, do you do that? Hell yeah. That is 2 uses of the blink dagger. I believe I said you could do it. Oh, you just throw a dagger into the mist? Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I thought you were teleporting over there with your blink dagger. All right, roll an attack against the mist. Inchi, you hit the mist. Go ahead and roll damage against it. Inchi, you throw your dagger into this thin purple mist. And is that your turn? Okay. It is the assassin's turn. I believe they get to roll to see if the Tasha's hideous laughter affects them still. Is that at the beginning or end of their turn? Did you post it? Hell yeah. At the end of its turn. Okay, so the assassin in red isn't able to do anything except laugh. The die master looks at all the various colors and finds each and every one of them more hysterical than the last one. They are going to roll a wisdom save, and they got an 11, so they still think that this is some of the funniest stuff that they have ever seen. Ooh, excuse me. Okay, this one with the shears clips them twice, the one that was pretending to be a masked lord, and he walks over towards you, Blinken, or Huel, and he jumps down into this area you're in, and he says, "We're having a discount right now. We're cutting everything in half," and he attacks you. Ooh, he got a 12. Does that hit? Oof. You are going to take 2d6 of damage, slashing. 7 damage. I need you to roll a dexterity check. You need to get above a 15. Y'all long rested on the boat. And then I don't believe, since you weren't here last session, you didn't do any combat, so you should be fully rested. Yeah, that was last night. You have slept since then. You slept on EB's boat. -7. No, it was 7, and now you need to roll a dexterity saving throw. It's okay. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. A nat 22. So, Huel, with that, you are able to duck and weave out of the way, and you only take half damage, so you'll only take 3 damage, okay? Yes, exactly. Um, Let me look at my notes real quick. Just a second. Okay, that's been 2 rounds of combat, and here we're going to go back above. Blinken and EB, y'all are walking past all these mannequins and rows of fabric up towards the private fitting room. Vincent is going to attempt to make a look into that ledger the man was scribbling in. But before all that, Thorgrin, you're alone with this tailor who you know for certain is an assassin, a man who is almost certainly toying with you to some extent. He swirls the glass of liquor around in his hand and he says, "Ah, what a lovely brown, rich color this is. It comes from an area in Luskin. Horrible city, marvelous liquor. Don't you agree, Master Dwarf?" They certainly do. You know, this... Oh, no, he's drinking out of it just fine. And you smell it. This appears to be like some very nice, smooth scotch. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. This is some nice Lusk. He poured you enough for sipping. He poured you enough that like you could sip on this for hours while you're getting fitted for a suit. And he says, "Master Dwarf, I certainly don't know what your hesitation is. Most of our clients that come in asking for the midnight fit, they've done their research beforehand. They have all their coins in order. You just cannot seem to decide who you wish to get stitched up tonight." He says, "You seem to be overwhelmed. Perhaps it is because you're not dressed for the occasion." And he whips off that like measuring tape he has around his neck. "Could I take your measurements, fit you up for a nice suit? We have this lovely fabric that will stretch even if your muscles are flexed to the maximum. It would take a dwarf that looks like he just crawled through a gutter of blood and glass into my elegant shop and make him look presentable, like if you gave hair gel to a rat." That I did, and he just gives you like the most polite smile that feels like a shit-eating grin. He says, hold out your arms, Master Thorgrin. I will measure your wingspan." Fantastic. Yeah, completely. So you hold out your arms, and he steps behind you, and you can hear him and you feel him like measure your wingspan from tip to tip, and he goes, but of course, smaller than I expected. But I'm sure you're used to that." Thorgrin, roll a dexterity check. Ooh, EB Blinken, as y'all walk up the stairs, past these mannequins, past these changing rooms, you walk into the private fitting room and you hear Thorgrin being choked by this measuring tape from this tailor. As you walk in, he says, "Ah, yes, shall I fit you up for a custom suit?" EB, yeah, EB, Thorgrin, and Blinken roll a dexterity check. Or roll fucking initiative. Sorry. Yeah, my bad. Oh, holy shit, my Google Chrome is acting fucky. Give me just a second. Oh no, it's not working at all. Oh no. Oh no, do I have to restart my computer? I do. Boys, I gotta restart my computer. Give me 2 minutes. We'll take a 5 minute break, okay? Fantastic. Alright, I'm back. Can everyone hear me? Cool. Okay, let me make sure OBS is working. Let me close Photoshop that opened for some reason. Come on. You can do it. OBS, get your shit together. No, this hasn't been recording. Fuck. He needs to roll a wisdom saving throw. So you're trying to polymorph this assassin in front of you. Gotta beat a what? 15? I think it would be against your spell save, and your spell save is 15, right? No, no, no. So he has a chance to resist polymorph by rolling a wisdom saving throw. Yep. And to beat your spell save is a 15, correct? Yeah. So he rolled a 15. So he is able to resist your polymorph spell. Yeah. So that's just a straight failure. Nothing else happens. Do you have an additional action that you can take? No. Okay. Let me know. All right. That is the end of a round of combat in the basement. Inchi got involved in the fight and got cut up pretty good. The tailor with the shears was able to cut his AC in half, or by two. Elzerna turned invisible, and EB fell through that trap in the ceiling. Huel cast Featherfall, and EB was able to avoid the die pits, but he got caught by a third hiding assassin. Going back up top, in the tailor shop. Thorgrin, it is your turn. The last thing you remember is you were taking a sip of the nice, elegant Luskin scotch, and you agreed to let this person, Ravel, take your measurements of your wingspan. And while he was behind you doing the measurements, he wrapped that tape around you and started choking you out, and something about it cut deeply into your skin, and you took 2d6 of damage. Okay. 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 Sick. also there's a there's a dragon in the room. Okay. You just pull him forward. I'm not even going to make you roll a strength check. It's the last thing he's expecting. He's just trying to pull it tight. By the time he realizes that you're walking towards the hole and like pulling him down with you and using the way that he's choking you to pull him along, it's too late. You're already falling forward. Both of you need to roll a dexterity check and beat a 16. 8. He got a 17. Well, let me actually check his dex. I know it's at least +2. +4. Okay. He kind of has you grappled. So I don't think so, no. Yeah. So you fall into the die. He falls down into the basement with you, but does not fall into the die. Thorgrin, you are going to take, did I roll the damage you took from being choked out by this? Last. I did, and I told you that, Thorgrim. I told you the damage you took from getting choked. Okay. You are going to. It's fine. I'm going to roll 1d10 of damage for this boiling liquid. 1d12, actually. Thorgrim, you take 8 damage before you are able to get out onto the floor of the basement. Thorgrim, as you're climbing out, you can be on the same side as Ravel or the opposite side. What do you do? Same side as Ravel. Okay. Um, so you dived in. That was your, we'll call that your movement. I think you still have your action. What do you do? Yes, no, he let go of you in the tumble. Okay. Okay. Roll that damage or roll that attack. Recklessly attack. Recklessly attack for 23. That hits. Did you roll damage too? Oh, God. Yes, so he has taken what is this? 34 damage already tonight. Thorgrim, I know you have a second attack. That hits. If you meet it, you beat it. 14, so he has taken 48 damage tonight. He was looking elegant and suave a moment ago, but after taking this tumble and getting shot by Blinken and getting hit in the face twice with the maul, he looks less distinguished and less elegant and looks more like Gerard Butler in Den of Thieves. Well, he didn't fall into the die. Yeah, you did. Thorgrim, you by the way, you're purple, just head to toe. Looks like you got a completely like blacked out tattoo, but it's purple. Your skirt is purple, or what's it called when it's a man? Kilt. Your kilt is purple. Your sword, your maul is purple. Your beard is purple. Everything's purple. And now it is Ravel's turn. Ravel is going to attempt to grapple you, Thorgrim, and throw you back into the die. So roll opposing strength checks. 19. When you defeat him so easily, he changes his strategy and uses his second action. He pulls out a pair of big golden sewing needles that have been sharpened to a razor fine point, and he attacks at you with them. And he gets advantage because you recklessly attacked. An 11 hits. Or actually, this is a finesse weapon. 15. 15 hits. No? Okay, he misses. That is his turn as well. And Thorgrim, right before we go up to Blinken, you notice that this presser right here, this steam thing that gets all the wrinkles and out of a piece of fabric and gets the stains out. It kind of opens up and like lets some steam out with a loud hiss, and it's very hot from this, even from this far away. You know that that thing would be dangerous if you were to touch it or be right next to it when that steam vented itself. Going back upstairs. Going back upstairs. Blinken, Aranax looks directly at you. He has his like one leg on one side of the hole, one leg on the other. His wings are flared out and his tail is wagging back and forth, excited to do some combat. And he looks down through the hole and he looks up at you and he looks down through the hole and he looks up at you and he looks down at the hole and up at you. What do you do? Yeah. He extends his neck like over the hole so that you don't even have to like worry about going around it. You can just grab onto his horn. All right. A full size like human would probably sit where the neck meets the body, but you, if you want to, you can just hold on to his horns and kind of like have be like on his head. All right. So Blinken and Aranax go down below. After Blinken's turn, we're gonna merge everybody into the same initiative order instead of having two groups. Is everybody cool to keep going for another like 30-ish minutes for this fight? Yes, I need to use the bathroom. Yeah. Yeah. Blinken, since you're kind of coming down here in a controlled way, you can pick where you're going to land in this back section here and think about what you're going to do, because when we come back to you, it's your and Aranax's turn. All right, boys, I'm back. Sam, Brax, Kirby, Sean, are y'all back? It doesn't sound like it. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I think that was most of everybody. Blinken, what do you want to do with Aranax? I'm gonna make his token movable by you. Okay, there we go. Mm-hmm. Okay. Go ahead and give me those attack rolls. And let me know if you're using your special attack. That hits. Go ahead and roll both of your attacks, and then we'll roll your damage. 16? Oh boy. Ravel has taken a lot of damage tonight. Give me just a second. Okay. So you unleash these arrow attacks, and Ravel is going to do something. He is going to quickly notice that you're doing this. His head is going to snap towards you, and as those arrows fly towards him, he is going to dexterously move out of the, not completely out of the way, but make sure that it hits spots that don't do critical damage to him. He is going to use his quick reaction to cut this in half. He can do this 3 times. So you did 8 damage to him. So he has taken 56 damage tonight. And then he is going to disappear into mist. And he is going to appear across the 30 feet away. Ah, damn, that's way too far away. Oh, he's going to have to risk it, okay, to get where he needs to go. So he's going to disappear into mist. Thorgrin, you notice that whenever Ravel disappears into mist, he leaves behind the faint scent of cedarwood. As he teleports over here, he is going to twist and throw one of those golden dagger. Throw it. He teleported. He teleported because he got damaged. Oh my god. How much did you smoke? Okay. No, you don't. Okay. You notice that as he teleported away, he leaves behind the faint, like, cologne smell of cedarwood. And then when he reappears, he turns around and throws one of those golden knitting needles at you. He gets a 21. Does that hit you, Thorgrin? That is going to be 1d6 of damage. No, fuck. 1. I'm gonna. That's 2d6 of damage. I'm sorry. 5 damage to you. And then you would cut that in half because it's piercing damage. It's just piercing. Go ahead and roll a Constitution check because these are poisoned, but I know that you have advantage against poison checks. Nat 20. Okay, yeah, so you're not affected by that at all. Blinken, that was all your turn. It is now Aranax's turn. Yeah, it's right in front of you. So go ahead and roll that attack. That hits. Forward damage. Ravel has taken 60 damage tonight. Does Aranax have multi-attack yet? Oh, really? Okay, then we can give... No, you're absolutely not. This is the time we stop, normally stop anyway. That's why I asked a few minutes ago if everybody was good. But we can stop and we can pick back up here next week, okay? Just let... Yeah, let Blinken finish his turn real quick. Okay, okay. All right. Yeah, do that for me. All right, so I'm going to take away that 4 and then add... Oh, no, it would just be 65 now. Okay, so Ravel has taken 65 damage. Okay, so everybody sees a glorious sight. Blinken descends into the room slowly on the back of Aranax. Blinken lets off a powerful couple of bow shots, hits Ravel with it, and Ravel teleports away and throws one of his sewing needles at Thorgrin. And then Aranax uses his spectral teeth to bite directly into Ravel. And EB, as you are being dragged in this net towards this vat of boiling liquid, you're not even concerned about that because 50 feet away from you or 30 feet away from you is something that should not be in Waterdeep. An adult gold dragon. These things are banned from Waterdeep. The only way for one to be here is if it's one of the ancient protectors of Waterdeep that's been here for hundreds of years. But the dragons of Waterdeep, especially the gold dragon Aranax, they've been missing for over 20 years. And all of your new friends look towards this dragon with delight and wonder, the kindness in their eyes of an old friend. And you even hear that young girl, Elzerna, say, "Doggy!" And that's where we're going to end. That's where we're going to end for tonight. All right, yeah. No, you're all good. I was pushing it a bit. Yeah. Kirby's probably thankful because he played 2 other games today. Is that right, Kirby? Okay, nice. It's living. No way. Yeah, Sean. Yeah, Sean is running his first D&D game himself. All right. Well, Sam, Yeah, Sam, I know you're exhausted, man. Yeah. Good night, everybody. Thanks for playing. See ya.